أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Welcome to the community conversation. This is a hujjat initiative. In this regular conversation with individuals, we will explore their struggle, achievements, courage, and disappointment that shaped and guided their faith, family, and community. Today, we have with us a well-known senior community member who holds an important position of the Secretary of Hujjat Seniors. As we know, our seniors are also one of the core demographics group who make up a substantial number within our Hujjat community. He is Azad Dhalla. Welcome, Azad.
Thank you.
Azad Musa Gulamhussein Dhalla Balu was born in Zanzibar. The CV that he sent to me said that he was born on Indian Independence Day. That's the reason why his name is now Azad.
Azad, that's right.
Which means free.
Free, 15th of August.
He was born at Malindi House on 15th of August 1949 in Zanzibar. His father Musa Gulamhussein Dhalla was also born in Zanzibar. His mother Kulsum Satchu Peera was from Kulsum Satchu family. His primary schooling was at Sir Euan Smith Madressa and secondary at Hindu Union Secondary School. After finishing his secondary school education, he came to the UK and obtained engineering diploma from Paddington College and South Bank University, both in London. He applied his professional skills in various employ both in the UK and abroad and retired in the United Kingdom. He is a member of the Hujjat community and serves as a secretary to senior Hujjat group activities. He married Batul Hussein Sivji Somji from Malindi and Dar es Salaam in 1977, I believe.
Right,
Azad, right?
I remember that because of Prince Charles' wedding was at the
so
Prince Diana.
Independence Day there and Prince Charles' wedding here. Okay. And they have two sons, Samir, who is a pharmacist, and Abbas, who is a dentist. Salamun alaikum and welcome, Azad bhai.
Alaikum salam. Thank you very much.
So now we know why you are Azad. How do you feel that you are associated with this Indian independence?
Very much so. It goes with my character, I think. Well,
your character?
Yes, because I'm the last child of the family.
Right.
We are total brothers of 11.
11 brothers.
11 brothers and one sister.
Oh my.
And I'm the youngest one.
Right.
So I came and freed the whole Dhalla family.
That's how you associate the Indian independence. All right.
And being the youngest one, I had all the best things in the world.
Right.
Sort of thing.
So
by the time my turn to come out, I was brought up by my brothers, really.
Really? Okay. So your brothers, 11 brothers, where are they at the moment?
Out of 11 brothers, only 3 are alive.
Oh, okay.
Two are alive, so apart from me, 3 of us.
Yeah. So where are they, the two brothers?
One brother is here, Murtaza, and the other one is Ahmad Dhalla in Mombasa.
Oh, so Murtaza, we are seeing the seniors, he's your brother?
My brother, yes.
Okay, and the other one?
Ahmad Dhalla.
He's
another big volunteer for the
he was, again, seniors in Mombasa, wasn't
That's
he?
right, yes.
Right. So, well, interesting. And
now, of course, I've got my nephews are serving the community, like...
Who are they?
Shabar Dhalla.
Oh, Shabar Dhalla. And how is he sort of...
Nephew,
so brother's son.
yes.
Right.
And Mahmoud Dhalla, who is my nephew, sorry, Ahmad's son.
Okay, now I used to be very, very good friends with Abdul Dhalla.
Abdul Dhalla.
So who is Abdul Dhalla to you?
He's my cousin.
He's your cousin?
First cousin.
First cousin.
He's my chacha's son, you know.
So Dhalla family is quite a largish family, would you say?
Well, Musa G Dhalla is with 11 children. Well, now they got married and children, nephew. We've grown very quite big. And we're in the 3 continents, you know.
3.
Africa, Europe and America.
Do you have a family gathering of all that?
Very difficult.
Difficult, yeah.
But sometimes we do.
Right.
Only 1 or 2 might be missing, but whenever there's a wedding or sort of thing, you know.
So what are you up to now that you are retired? What are you doing nowadays? How do you pass your time?
Well, walk down with the seniors and try to help as much as I can with the Jamaat work, anything going, and having a nice time, just relaxed.
Well, I mean, apart from community, do you have any hobbies or do you sort of do anything else?
No. It was just mostly taking care of the house, gardening and things like that.
All right, okay. So you were secretary of, 7 years at the Hujjat seniors, catering for the needs of the seniors. So expand on what your role is as a secretary of the seniors. Tell us what you do.
First of all, I'm a sort of a born Leo, so I feel like natural I should take charge of anything. But normally I only do that when I see a vacuum, when nobody's there to take care. Then I step in. I said, now it's time to help here.
Right.
If I see somebody else coming quite, I seem capable, I just step back. Not that ambitious.
Is that how you? Is that your personality like that?
That's my personality.
Okay.
That's a step back and to compete with somebody. But when I see a vacuum, then I feel like to put it right, I must volunteer and go and do something about it.
So this is why you sort of ended up doing the secretaryship for 7 years, presumably in the senior side. Not many people were coming forward to become a secretary.
Unfortunately, it is like that. Even today, we've been there for 7 years. We're trying to recruit those who are just coming in, our seniors, but we can't find a replacement.
Why is that?
I suppose every senior is retired and wants to have an easy life.
That could be a very good reason, yeah.
And it does take a bit of time, but it keeps you occupied, you know. We have meetings and you write the minutes of the meeting. You handle all the paperwork and the correspondence.
All right,
as the secretary usual.
So basically, your function is just administration.
Administration,
mainly,
yes.
And then who chooses the speakers for the Wednesday slots?
Well, we used to have a program like manager. Before we had Yusuf Murtaza Ibrahim, and when he's had enough of about 5-6 years, and then they were offering to quite a few people, and we couldn't find anyone to take over as a program manager. And Sultan eventually, he was lumbered with it. So between me and Sultan, we help each other.
Right, okay. So you identify and then you
approach them.
Approach the speakers. And sort of this is a voluntary basis, isn't it? Yeah. And that's how you sort of...
The only problem is, because our program is on Wednesday, many people have to give up their work or profession or business to come to us. So it's a great sacrifice for them, but we appreciate that very much.
Yeah. I think it's important that you carry on with this seniors program. That's the only program you have, isn't it?
Plus, we have cut down a bit since the COVID has started. We used to have trips, either we used to enter Jamaat, Zainabia or Fatima, and Birmingham they would make, and we would go there by a coach. Like in the month of May this year, they started again in Hyderabad. They've got the Eid function for all the seniors. So all the seniors of the UK or COEG has been arranged by COEG, I believe. And we'll be going to Hyderabad. So this is the first time probably I'll see the Hyderabad. I've never been there to any place.
Right, okay. So now explain to me, the COEG has got a seniors body?
Yes, they call it SND, Seniors Development, something like that.
All right, okay. And that's representing the seniors of Europe?
Europe, yes.
And that has got its own sort of board?
Sort of, but we are very much...
Is it active, that particular seniors board?
Not as much
in the COEG?
Not as much as I would like to see it.
No, right. Active. So basically, majority of the functionings are done under the Jamaat, and then maybe co-ed, you do maybe a much more broader thinking to see what can be.
Is where when we start getting involved with the inter-Jamaat, then co-ed.
Then we use the co-ed platform. All right, okay. So what about the seniors that we have, Hujjat seniors? When did it start and how did it start? Can you sort of share your thoughts on the historical, whatever you can remember, aspect of how this Hujjat seniors emerged?
Most of the seniors started when we moved to Stanmore at HIC, Hussein Islamic Center, and that's where they really took shape. They had before seniors in Hammersmith, but because of the distance from where most people live, it was not very well recognized. But when he started in Stanmore, then it became more popular because most nationals started moving around Stanmore, and it's easy to travel and get there. Still, there are one or two seniors who find it difficult, and ladies especially, to arrive there, so we had to provide them with a coach and pick up points.
Right. So then, who were the pioneers who began this particular this institution?
The only that were, from what I can recollect, was at the time when Dr. Laka was president, and Mullah Kaki was the chairman for the seniors.
So
it started more to be vibrant that time, with more than 150 members or something, ladies and gents. And since then, there's so many committees were serving in that time, and it grew up from there.
Okay. So how many members have you got at the moment?
We have more ladies than gents, unfortunately.
Altogether?
Members, I would say about 120 to 150.
That includes ladies and...
if you include ladies, it will be about 200, 250.
Right. So it's quite sizable number membership. But we have obviously more than that. But they're not members of the seniors.
Seniors, yes.
And the members of the membership is what, from age 50, age 55, age 60, when?
Initially, it was about 65, but then they found that there were not many members who are 60. This is at the beginning.
Right.
So they lowered to 50. This is historically. But now more and more young people like us, I call young, or seniors, we have come up after lived in this country and studied in this country. Now most of them, we find them retired and coming into the seniors, mostly professional type of people who are joining us now, which makes it even more interesting, especially when we instigated to start exercise on Tuesdays, seniors. We tried very much and encouraged it, and Alhamdulillah, Mumtaz Qasim managed to tie a deal with Stanmore Jaffrey, and he started his own group, and we supported that fully.
No, and he's doing a wonderful job. I wish that...
most of our seniors members are members of both now.
Yeah. I wish that particular sporting model is taken on throughout the senior world of the Khoja Shia Ishtihad.
Definitely, they need to look at it.
Yeah, it's a very good initiative. So, what are the needs of the seniors, would you say? I mean, as I understand it, the demographics now that we have, these demographics arrived in the UK when they were young, and now they've become old and
seniors.
Now seniors. And they obviously, when they came in, they didn't think that I didn't think I was ever going to become a senior.
No.
We all become seniors, don't we?
And at that time,
so our needs now, what are our needs, would you say? I mean, do you as a group reflect upon that?
Well, in 1918, I went on this heritage tour to India and Bhavnagar, and I was quite amazed in the way they progressed some of the small towns of Bhavnagar. And I thought, why can't we do the same thing here in this country? Like Moa. And I was quite impressed. They built their own village, apartments, houses, and mosque in their own area.
Yeah.
And I said, if we could have our own seniors so that they could move in an apartment, block somewhere, van could pick them up and to bring them to the mosque and arrange their own programs. And that would be a lovely idea. And that was my main motive to join the seniors at the time.
To sort of, to see if we could build our own, the seniors village where they could interact with each other. Because I understand it, loneliness is quite an issue within the seniors, isn't it?
Yes, because most of them, even their husband and wife, but they've got children, and the children are all busy. They're leading their own life. And so it's important. That's why we're seeing so many people attending our Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Has anyone done any sort of in-depth study at the extent of loneliness and the causes of it within our seniors, both male and female? Because many have become widowed, and they feel that they need companionship and all that. So, have we done any in-depth work on this?
Not familiar. I don't think any work has been done, but by just general observation.
Anecdotal, yeah. But that is something which
is expected for our community, such to have. There bound to be certain aspect like you're saying.
That's right. And our community also doesn't want to disclose things. They won't say it in public. They may feel shy about it as well. But you can see that from the conversation that this loneliness can be an.
So this is the main thing. We started a project of PIF, and we formed a committee with Dr. Amin Laka and Abbas Merali, and we went around to look for the properties. But then at the same time, Jamaat was looking for property as well to expand from there. So when we come up with a deal, and Jamaat says, we'll take over from here. And they were waiting and said, no, the best thing is if we could find a property themselves, and then they would integrate this seniors apartment. And that's why I'm a bit hopeful that this place, Harefield, might prove there's one of the points where one building could be converted into 100 flats or something for one bedroom, so the seniors can move in and feel like part of a community.
Yeah, that's a project worth investigating or exploring. But I'm just thinking, Azad bhai, on this senior issue, that if we have got a cohort now of professional people becoming seniors now and joining the group, that there is so much talent within the seniors that Jamaat can utilize. And isn't there any way that one can coordinate in a way that we can utilize the seniors' expertise and experience and know-how?
Well, partly I think because the seniors who are coming up now are mostly worked in this country, and they build quite a bit of equity themselves. They've got their own house, they've got a good company's pension and government pension. So I'm afraid there is a bit of, I won't say selfishness, but there is apathy sort of thing, like I can manage myself. So they're not coming out forward like you suggested. Yeah.
But there is potential there, isn't there?
There's potential, definitely. Sooner or later it will have to happen.
It has to happen, and I think it's worth sort of moving in that direction. The seniors can really contribute quite a lot. Yeah.
Definitely.
Now I want to come to your place of birth, Zanzibar. You did your schooling, both primary and secondary, there. Talk to us about your childhood in what was life in Zanzibar like?
Well,
first of all, do you miss Zanzibar?
Very much.
So you enjoyed your childhood in Zanzibar?
Everything is within his age, and everybody knew everybody.
Right.
And
it's a very small sort of...
Small town. I mean, I was living in Malindi. If I could walk all the way to the mosque, I could tell each and every door who was living there. And every child.
That close, that intimate.
Intimate, because you see them every day in the mosque or in the streets. And we used to play in our streets for cricket, football, things like that. So we tend to know each other quite a lot like that. And we walk to school. There was nothing like parents picking you up here on the car or something like that. And we walked to the school and back. And evenings we would go to the sports ground and play sports, either football or cricket or volleyball, whatever.
Right.
And National Union was very active at the time in Zanzibar. Yeah.
And sort of, who were your inspirational figures at that time, both within the education arena, primary and secondary, and the community? Were there any inspirational figures that you felt that they meant quite a lot to you?
In a sense, there were quite a few, somehow, from Zanzibar. In 1958, there were more students from Zanzibar in UK studying for higher education than the whole of East African snatcheries. I mean,
why was that?
I suppose it was always being a small island, and the education was limited to, you had all primary school was well served. Secondary schools were very much limited. There was only government school, and there was a very high competition to get into the government school. You had to sit at grade 8 in exams, and to pass it a high grade to get a place in the secondary schools. So if you have been chosen to go to secondary school, you are very lucky. And so after secondary school, most of the people had a scholarship or from government departments, and they were sent abroad, like teachers, doctors, and so forth.
Right. So quite a lot of sort of university cadre came from Zanzibar. Within East Africa.
East Africa.
But do you remember any inspirational figures that you felt that inspired you in any way?
Well, there are quite a few from Zanzibar. I can name only two. Master Kaku was well known.
Who?
Master Kaku.
Master Kaku, okay.
He ended up as a principal of secondary school at Mumba College.
So he was quite an inspiring figure for you. Okay.
And there was Malin Poster, he was an accountant, and Issa Peera as a lawyer. So all these people, the early ones in 1958, who came to study. Even Murtaza Laka, he came here to study for his law degree.
So when they came back, they became quite a role model for you guys. Okay.
All Zanzibars.
Right. So what about your parents? Where did they come originally from?
My parents, my grandfather was born in Bhuj, Kutch.
So you are a Kutchi then?
Kutchi, yes. And he came at the age of 10, I think, with his father, Dhalla.
Right. Where did they come?
They come from Bhuj. You know.
Yeah, from where did they come in East Africa? Straight to Zanzibar?
Straight to Zanzibar.
Right, okay.
And we had the family of selling, grocery stores and medicine, like Salim Madawa, we call him.
Salim Madawa?
Yeah, Salim Madawa is my massa.
All right, okay.
But similar shop were selling the things from India.
Okay, so in Zanzibar?
In Zanzibar.
Right, okay.
So we had a Malindi house, shops downstairs, and we were living on the top. So
that's what most of our Khojas used to do.
Used to do that.
Shop down, up.
Yeah. We're living up there, yeah. So this started as a business. And my grandfather had 3 sons and about 5 daughters.
Right.
So it was a very big family. And
that's your grandfather?
Grandfather, yes. And my father, as soon as he qualified, he looked for a local job. And
what did he qualify as?
Well, just to finish his primary school at the time.
Okay.
I started working for local firms and things like that, and never took over the business.
So what made you, after sort of secondary education, what made you come to UK?
Well, it's a story of a sibling. My elder brother was here already, and when you have a aim to go, so if he has been there, I have to go there. And
right. So he became your direction, sort of.
That's right. My brother Murtaza.
Yeah.
He came to study electronics.
Murtaza is older than you?
Older than me.
Okay.
He came to study electronics here.
Right. Okay.
And so I always followed him, we always be he was my sibling, in other words.
So really, that's how you ended up in Paddington and South Bank to do engineering. Why engineering then?
Well, it was a natural thing for engineering electronics, as electrical electronics, because he was in electronics business.
So you have an engineering mind, both of you.
That's right.
Okay, so what was the community life like when you came? What was your first impression of London then?
Quite exciting when you have to travel by train to go to work.
So that was exciting.
Exciting. I mean, we never saw train in Zanzibar.
Oh, right.
There was hardly any train or buses,
And the houses were very big, the streets were very large, wide.
The houses were very small here. The flats were small.
No, compared to Zanzibar?
Compared to Zanzibar, you have a big mahal,
Oh, right, okay. The rooms are
big, and you got 3 floors of house.
So here the rooms were
smaller.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, I landed he put me up at the East Africa House.
What was life like there in East Africa House?
It was fantastic because most of the East African, we were all together, Snashis and Bohoras and Smellies and
you all sort of joined together.
Together, that's right. Yeah.
And so you wouldn't have felt lonely then in that case because...
Not really, because they had a TV room, they had a games room, we played snooker or a carom or something.
So when did you come then?
1969.
So basically 1969, what was the social life was sort of revolved around East Africa House. And what about food, halal food? You used to get halal food around there?
Unfortunately, there are not many halal food places.
It wasn't existing at the time.
You have to search for it.
Yeah. But you had Muharram program and Ramadan program.
We had the Muharram program. The students, at the time, most of the students, they form a group called National Union.
Right.
And they were led by, as far as I remember, was Zuli Hamir. He was
Zulfikar Hamir.
Zulfikar Hamir.
Yeah. Nazir Panju was there.
Nazir Panju. Yeah. And Mustafa Chandu and Raza Chandu. They were the first who arrived in this country. And they formed this committee and we used to have a program.
And you were part of it?
At that time, no. I was still finding my way around.
All right, okay. But subsequently you did?
My brother Murtaza was quite involved.
Okay.
Because after 2 years he was qualified as a TV engineer. He was working for Granada, so they provided him with a car. And at that time, if you have a car, you're a king.
Yeah.
Because most of the students we couldn't afford a car or anything.
Right.
And they used him for transporting mics.
So was Murtaza a very generous man then?
Very much. Give them a lift and carrying their mics and speakers. He managed the AV rooms, if you like, throughout his life.
Okay.
And I used to help him up as well. Even in Stanmore, when we were first putting the speakers, I came down to help him to put the speakers and mics and everywhere.
Right.
And when he's away, people look at me and say, "How come our mic is not working or something? Can you fix it for us?" So he was a very instrumentalist in the AV side, like people we see now much more advanced equipment. But at that time, our budget was very limited as well. And even to buy amplifier and speakers was a task. We had to go around, ask people to donate or something or the other to get it.
Well, you must have seen a huge transformation of the community from a union to a Jamaat, and then we purchase of Stanmore, hujjat at Stanmore, and then...
Leave at Stanmore, first we started Hammersmith.
Hammersmith, yeah, that's right, Hammersmith, and then here, hujjat at Stanmore, and now here, where we are doing a conversation at Hurru.
It has moved quite a bit, really. Considering we had to find a hall every time to perform majlis. We didn't have all the majlis were done in weekends, Saturday, Sunday, so that students could come and others who are working, they could attend. So any wafat or something, there would be at the weekends. And we would hire a hall, mostly church hall or some other places. And the main function people are really looking for students were Eid function we used to perform.
Why? Why Eid function?
Because students all over UK from East Africa, snatchers, they came down just for that. You meet each
A
other.
lot of interaction and
interaction.
networking and all that.
I remember the last one we had it. I remember two of them we had. One was at Indian YMCA in Houston.
Yeah.
Around
Yeah,
there.
that's right. Yeah. In 1970s, wasn't it?
1970s.
Yeah.
I used to volunteer then, serving the food or putting up the mics.
I think the last ones were late 70s, and then I think then it died down.
It died down.
Yeah.
What happened? And the other one was at Hans Crescent, what do you call, British Council in Knightsbridge, with a big hall there. So
at that time, West End was quite accessible, wasn't
accessible, oh yes. Most of the people came from far away, as far as Bristol, Scotland, just to attend.
And they used to come to central London.
Just to meet people on either day. And I was a committee member of that union later on. And this was 1972, before the Ugandan arrived.
Yeah, and then of course the Jamaat formation and all that. Yeah.
And that's why the time was Marhum Masum Barwani. He was the chairman of our National Union.
Ah, okay.
And at that time, when the Ugandan arrived, this is where the more pressure was going. We should form a Jamaat. And I remember the first meeting of the Jamaat was held at the Islamic Center in Becker Street before they was built this mosque as it is. But it was in the old style. We called out a meeting. It was the union instigated it and performed this.
So the backbone behind the formation of Jamaat is the union. And that experience then moved forward into Jamaat formation.
The Jamaat, that's right, yes.
So you must be very happy with the evolution of the community so far?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was nice. We feel it more at home. You meet your own people, you know.
Yeah.
And this was the main thing is for loneliness again. In those days were quite a lot.
Yeah.
Students were living in a hostel with their own, and we don't meet their own fellow East Africans. So
now we have established communities throughout UK now.
Oh yes, much better.
So you qualified, I've got here, you qualified with Rank Xerox. You worked as a senior technical author, British Airways, moved abroad to Middle East, Gulf aircraft maintenance in Saudi Arabia, wasn't it?
That was in Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, and then Aramco in Saudi Arabia. Boeing at Seattle.
Well, the interesting thing is, when the job came up at what happened after Abu Dhabi, we had Gulf War in 19.
Yeah, that's right.
And the Gulf War, after the Gulf War, we were very busy. Partly in Abu Dhabi, what happened is we were the base for the American aircraft, the helicopters, and because we're not far away from the theater, we were calling part of the theater. We were
theater of the war.
Of the war, yes.
Okay.
So we were repairing most of and the job, we really expanded like anything. We went out to Philippines and India, recruited.
Did you go as well to Philippines, all that?
No, I didn't go to.
But they were recruiting.
I was recruiting. I was in Abu Dhabi.
All right,
maintaining the base, you see. And soon after Gulf War, everything died out. The airline industry shrunk. And there was a big collapse of the economy of the airline industry, and that's where they started cutting down.
So what happened to you then?
I was made redundant.
Oh, right, okay. And then you then joined, I think, EasyJet in Luton?
Yes. After coming up from Abu Dhabi, I was 3 years unemployed.
Yeah.
It was a very tough time, but I did make good investment, and I was quite happy because of I worked in Saudi Arabia, in Abu Dhabi, and I could back up, you know.
You had a good financial
backup, yeah.
Okay.
So after 3 years, the airline industry started picking up, because the airline industry is such, it always goes up and down, trough and bottom up.
Yeah.
And it started picking up, and Boeing had a big order. So I had an offer from Boeing to go to Seattle.
Oh, you had an offer. Okay.
But I was making my mind up, and as soon as I did that, a contract came from Saudi Arabia as well. So I was balancing the two. And I had a cousin in Saudi Arabia where Aramco was working, Taki Remtullah. I spoke to him, said, you better come here. I said, I'm more inclined from what I hear to go to Seattle, you know. But weighing the two, I think I decided to go to Saudi Arabia.
All right. And then
for 6 years I was there.
Yeah, but then you came back here to UK, Luton, and then did you go to Switzerland as well?
That's right, yeah. After EasyJet, 3 years I was contracting. From then I was, you can say consulting or contracting.
And what about, then you went to France as well?
Yeah, these are jobs that are coming up.
Yeah.
1 year, 2 years.
So all these places here, Saudi Arabia, Switzerland, France, UK, Abu Dhabi, Saudi, I mean, what was living like? I mean, was it good living or?
Abu Dhabi was one big holiday.
Really?
It was beautiful. So
how many years did you spend there?
6 years.
6 years. It was a good 6 years holiday.
6 years holiday. I was with my family. The children had a good schooling at a British school, privately educated. And
the money must be quite good as well.
Good,
yeah.
They provide you with a house or car, transport, and up and down trips. So it was like any other Middle East job. It's quite lucrative, let's call it. Same thing was with Aramco. But unfortunately, when I went to Aramco, my children were grown up by then from Abu Dhabi. They were in the secondary school. They were going in this country, and they were about to go to university. So I couldn't take them with me to Saudi Arabia.
So they stayed here? So
they stayed here, but then every 3 months I used to come, get a break. 1 or 2 weeks I used to fly back. Do that quite a lot.
So you did quite a lot of flying as well?
Flying as well.
Is it safe to fly?
Oh yes, very much so.
You're not afraid?
Not at all.
Because you maintain your own aircraft, yeah?
That's part of that.
What about...
That's the worst part, because you know the mistakes we do. You wouldn't fly if I told you. It's not
Share it with us. Share it with us.
Or even for forgetting your torture on the wings, you know.
Yeah, even a small thing like
small
that.
Thing,
yeah.
And they could affect the wings movement or something there.
But it's very safe, I think.
It's quite safe, because everything is checked and rechecked, and, the inspectors are checking your job and everything.
So out of all those places, if you were to retire, which place would you retire? I mean, I know you retired in UK, but if you had a choice.
I'd say Middle East, UAE.
UAE, yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Dubai has to travel to Dubai quite a lot because we're in Abu Dhabi. It's 1.5 hour journey.
That's right.
We didn't have any Jamaat in Abu Dhabi, but there were Pakistanis. They were having their majlises, and there were Shias in Abu Dhabi as well. They had their mosque.
Right.
So that way we had enough programs and things like that. But that feeling of East African we don't. I had to go to all of Dubai to get that.
You wouldn't want to go back to Zanzibar?
I don't mind as a visitor.
Okay. Yeah. So now, just a last couple of questions I have for you. You know, having worked for 7 years in as a secretary of the seniors, having this connection with the community ever since its formation, really, in a way. You were part of the union and then the Jamaat. Do you have any sort of candid advice that you can give to hujjat community or hujjat leadership?
Well, I think so far we're going in the right direction.
The direction is right.
Right, yeah. It's just that to continue it. And I've noticed the up-and-coming volunteers who are all homegrown, I call them. They are doing much better job than we did.
Okay.
Partly, we came from East Africa. We had old ideas of East Africa. Everything Jamaat will do it for you. Because as a government, Jamaat is your social welfare. But in this country, you don't need that sort of thing so much because everything is taken care of by the government.
Right.
Social services, from your unemployment benefits to sick benefit, hospital, this and that.
Well, provided for,
provided
isn't it?
for.
Yeah.
While in East Africa, Jamaat had to look at the community.
That's
so that's
right.
two different
It's a different
thinking.
Service, isn't it? That,
And the older generation, this is what we were afraid to go and approach the government for help. While the new generation, they know how to tap the latest things in government, local authority, and politics, and take part in it so that we influence the thing. We might not like the Conservative or Labour, but I believe in inclusivity.
You believe in inclusivity, yeah.
Yes, you have to be there, though you might not like it, but at least you make a difference.
You think our community should be much more inclusive, living in the West, would you say?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it...
Oh yeah, definitely. We cannot live on your own.
No.
It'll be too much.
Inclusive means actually with wider society.
We have to integrate.
Not just with Muslims, but wider society.
We have to integrate with wider society because we are British.
Yeah.
And as a British, we have to act as a wider society, and they have to recognize you as a part of a British.
Right. And that is better for the community as a whole. Yeah. Because then there will be recognition that we are part of one society.
Yes, right.
Particularly when there are rules here which you can engage if there are any issues that you are not happy with.
Well, this is the good thing about the new generation. Because they are grown up here, they've seen the system working. They make use of it.
They know how to work the system.
Okay. Well, we look internally. Everything we'll find the money from our own brothers or something, raise donation, which alhamdulillah there are quite a few philanthropists who are good. It's a good thing, but at the same time there are so many organizations outside can be tapped.
Do you think that because sometimes our community is not as inclusive, that young people may feel that they don't participate in the community life, it's because we are not that inclusive? Do you think that connotation is there?
There is, but to a little extent. Partly we managed to capture, I think, because of the Stanley Jaffrey sports. Sports is one.
Sports brings the young people.
The young people. I mean, my grandsons are playing Saturday football, and with Sports Jaffrey Sports, and they went into entering the local area, what they call it, Grad, local football leagues,
right?
And they're playing with the boys.
And they engage with others. Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Even the young ones feel like that they belong here.
Yeah.
They're playing against Birmingham or Leicester, not Snatchers, but even the other schools, between schools and others. And that's a good thing that the youngsters can feel that we're here living.
So even, taking the same sort of philosophy, if we open up as a Jamaat to others and allow them to see who we are and all that, it helps.
Of course it helps. And this is where it's very useful to take advantage, like we used to have, unfortunately it hasn't been continued very much, Hussein Day.
Right, which is a good thing.
We have
forgotten that, haven't we?
Our Prophet's birthday. We should create a function so that people and invite them outside, they recognize, Alhamdulillah, we got to this place now in Harefield. That's ideal. So we could invite people.
We could invite, and share who we are, share our traditions.
The best thing was Hussein Day. Started from Zanzibar. We used to have that one.
That's right.
Put Shamiana. We used to even invite prime ministers and ministers and resident government councillors and embassies. So you feel like that we are a community to be recognized.
Yeah. So the last question would be now, what about the regional and the local, regional federation and our global body? You have anything, any thoughts that you may have to share with in that sort of aspect of our community life?
Sure. It's a good thing to have a regional and worldwide bodies like World Federation and COAGE. They look after the interests of our community, but we should be a bit more looking at our own needs first.
Our own
needs first.
Do you feel that it's perceived like this body is looking at
outside
the community and not ours. Is that a perception?
There is certain perception of
Okay.
that, yes. Partly because then probably not advertising themselves what they are doing for the local community.
So at the global level.
At the global level,
Yeah,
yes. You need more PR to spread out the news what they are doing. But
And I think the grassroots must feel that they are doing something for them.
For them,
Is that what? Yeah,
that's
okay,
right. Yeah.
Yes, that connection has to be there. Otherwise, perhaps that's broken and that needs to be revived. Yeah. Anyway, I think Azad bhai, it's wonderful to have a conversation with you and sharing your life with us, your life experience with us. You've been to so many places throughout the world. Pity that your choice of retiring at Abu Dhabi, Dubai did not materialize, but you are in the best possible place.
Oh yeah,
at the moment.
well, this is it. Britain is not a bad place to be retiring anyway.
Right.
If you've been brought up, worked in this country,
Yeah.
there's plenty of opportunities.
Yeah. So let's hope that under your sort of watch at the seniors, that seniors will go to another milestone, achieve another milestone, and hopefully the professional seniors who are now coming into seniors will take it there with you.
I hope so.
Let's hope so, yeah.
I hope we can to encourage more younger seniors
To come in.
to come in.
Maybe you want to bring the age of from 50 to 45
Oh
or
dear.
40. That might help.
Well, we're open to suggestion. I mean, if they are there to come up, we don't stop them.
Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
thank you. And I hope that the audience enjoyed our conversation. Until next time, we'll meet again. Khuda Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz.